Here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, a day after the Free Nnamdi Kanu protests and a day after the 5th anniversary of the End SARS protests. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. I'm Maokwe Ogun-Yusuf. I'm usually not alone.
Well, I'm Ayo Makinde. Good morning and welcome. Indeed, it's the morning after that protest in Abuja, as well as the 2010-20, as it became known. Mark, I recall vividly that it was the morning after that an organization, the sister organization, a media organization, was set ablaze. And I had to cover, I think it was the same day, 2010-20, and the following day I had to report an update. That was the day I myself got, attacked. And a good number of people will be wondering whether or not there has been closure on what happened to people in the wake of 2010-20.
I do know that quite a number of people are still recovering from the trauma of that day. And I think one of the things that our sister program, Morning Brief, did was to talk to somebody who says he still suffers from survivor's guilt. But it is a day after the event here in Abuja, a day after the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest threatened to ground economic activities around the federal capital city. Some strategic entry and exit points from the city were blockaded, particularly roads leading to the 3-arm zone. A lot of business owners also stayed cautious as to the implications of the protest, fearing that it could degenerate and affect their businesses. Our correspondent, Friday Okerigbe, is back on the streets of Abuja and brings us up to speed with the current situation this morning. Well, Friday, I see you're still in combat gear somewhat, brightly clad. Can you tell us what is on Abuja?
If I had the option, I would actually take off this because there's no so much security threats as we talk this morning. The truth is, we went around the city, areas where we had blockade yesterday. The roads leading to the 3-arm zone, the federal secretariat, the road leading to the Betama axis, where you have the transport authority, the NCC, and of course the NUC. So the high point of blockade that activities are going on as normal, as usual. The roads that were not busy yesterday, maybe you can see some vehicles behind me. The roads are busy now. Behind me, you see the building of the NCC. So the exact point, yesterday, where Surulere and his supporters started the march, and they were quickly dispersed by security forces who put their gas there. But today, there is not a single security official that is on ground here. So it tells you the way the things are today. We can say normalcy has returned. No protesters on the streets. Security men are doing their normal businesses. No blockade in any of the roads, as to speak.
I do then believe that you might be taking off your gear very soon, unless, of course, you have heard somewhere that perhaps the protest will continue today. Did we get that information anywhere?
Well, like I said earlier, we're just not throwing caution to the wind. That's why we're also putting our gears on. But there is no information as to where the protesters will be converging today. Some of the pictures I said earlier, we were at the unit of fountain, and not the single security personnel is on ground. The place is still under lock and key. And I also reached out to some participants in the protest yesterday. They seem not to be they've not been their leader as to where the protest will be moving. One of them told me that the protest ended yesterday. And so, yes, to the Utako Jabi axis, where they finally staged the protest yesterday, because that is going to be our next destination. We want to get to the spots where they staged the protest yesterday at Tackle, close to the NUJ, Nigerian Union of Journalists Secretariat. So when we get there, we'll know if at all it's good. But I'm very sure from what one of the protesters told me on phone, I'm not sure the protest is going to hold today.
All right, then, Friday, we certainly will keep tabs with you while you go about your legitimate duty. Thank you so much for the update. Our correspondent, Friday Okirigbe, going around the Federal Capital Territory and bringing us up to speed on the current situation of things. Well, Friday did say that they didn't get word that the protest was continuing today, but we're about to get confirmation from someone who should know. Mr. Juwon Sanyaolu joins us now. He's the national coordinator of the Take It Back movement, whose organization organized the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest yesterday. Mr. Sanyaolu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. There have been different reactions to the protest organized in the Federal Capital Territory yesterday, some of which we'll come to, but I want to find out from you if you're satisfied with the effect of the protest that you organized yesterday and if you're continuing today.
Yes, thank you. I would sincerely want to thank the Nigerian people who actually trooped out en masse. Despite intimidations from our security agencies, you would see people trooped out to march out. Yes, they were fired. People were fired. They were fired like 3 times, and more than 3 times they returned back to the barricades too, because we were insisting on a legitimate demand, and it's an issue that borders on our rights as a Nigerian citizen. Yes, so I would say authoritatively that we are indeed grateful to the Nigerian people who defied the lawless orders or disposition of security agencies, whose job should have been to protect protesters, protect the Nigerian people, but they've done the contrary. And we seize this opportunity to state clearly that every of the security agencies who perpetrated this act of lawlessness against Nigerian people, mass of whom took out a mass, will definitely be brought to book under the law. And to be clear, the protest did not only happen in Abuja, it took out a mass in the state. They shut down their market in Lagos. The protest happened in Lagos. So I would say it was a successful outing. But I would also want to add that the protest that happened yesterday is nothing compared to what we're going to organize next time, should the government of Tinubu remain recalcitrant on the legitimate demands to free Nnamdi Kanu.
Well, the protest was received with mixed reactions. You say that your demands are legitimate, but there are those who say, well, not just that there's those, it is a fact that the matter is currently in court. Mr. Nnamdi Kanu is currently facing trial in a court of law, and there are those who say, look, you should wait and see the process through. Perhaps the most you can do is apply pressure on the authorities to see that the protest is, the trial is brought to a logical conclusion in good time.
What is happening to Kanu is not a trial, it's persecution. I mean, you've been trying someone since 2015. Then you killed his father, killed his family, and then you reinstated the so-called trial again in 2000. And after extraordinarily renditioning him illegally from Kenya, you continued the charade since I think 2022, thereabout, and this is 2025. So more than how many years of the charade? So what is you would recall that Surulere faced this sort of charade. In fact, he faces it constantly from 2019. They brought up bogus reasonable felony in 2019, and that which kept him detained in Abuja until 2020. He was under city arrest. That's all. And then the trial did not leave. Of course, the government disgracefully withdrew those charges in 2023. So it's what is going on with Nnamdi Kanu is not trial. It's clear persecution. Now, what exactly are the issues? The issues are people are saying they do not feel represented in Nigeria. And indeed, I do not feel represented in Nigeria. Many Nigerians, over 200 million of us, feel that way. 139 million Nigerians as of today are poor. This is the statistics of our World Bank, the same people who are advising the government to impose neoliberal policies on its people. And now the IMF has said that 139 million people are poor as a result of those policies. These 139 million people, they don't feel represented in Nigeria. Just try something, bring a ship into Nigeria, full ship, and say that, oh, this ship is leaving Nigeria to perhaps maybe somewhere in Germany or the US. This country would almost be empty. Because on the average, Nigerians have seceded from this country. The only people who feel entitled and who think Nigeria is working are the handful who are plundering the country. So indeed, the demands are legitimate. Those who say they are tired of this country have legitimate concerns. And even those who are really not.
If I may, just a moment, if I may, because I mean, you have said that a lot of people will leave. Those who are doing legitimate work and are somehow still making headway.
139 Nigerian people are poor. Those 139 million people are those. Did this figure sounded like people who feel represented in a country that pauperized them? Very recently in Lagos, 3 days ago, there was a protest in Lagos over forced demolition. Over thousands of communities have been displaced. Many of them have become homeless. People who have lived in those communities for decades. Those people, will you tell me here and now that they feel represented in this kind of Nigeria? The answer is no. So Nnamdi Kanu is not the only person who is raising the alarm that we do not feel represented. Okay. And the solution, the solution to such is not a charity described as a crime. It's a political solution. If we have a government that is negotiating with bandits who come with full armory, you understand? They are negotiating with them. They are discussing with them. What exactly is the crime of Kanu?
Okay, so let's differentiate this. I think that we have not seen the federal government negotiate with bandits. What we've seen are state governments negotiating with bandits. But let us be clear. You talked about the protest. Just a moment, Mr. Sanyaolu, if I may put a question across. Yeah. I just wanted to take you up on the issue of lawlessness, because speaking with Mr. Jay yesterday, the he did protest was going to hold, and that they got a legal document to stop you, that's the group, from going to the area around the 3-arm zone and a particular Shehu Shagari way, and that you could hold the protest anywhere else, but that so far they saw your approach towards that particular area and had to disperse you because your protest was against the law. How do you react to that?
Well, number one, we are not in possession of any such court order. Number two, I'm also aware that there is no court that can prescribe the right of Nigerians to freedom of expression, the right to protest, the right to freedom of assembly, the right to freedom of movement. These are established constitutional rights. And in addition, look, even people who in Lagos, let me give you an instance. Don't let me talk about Abuja. In Lagos, there are people who protested in Lagos. They were beaten, tortured, violated. One of them is Declan. I've forgotten his surname. His name is Declan. So it was there a court order preventing the protesters in Lagos. And moreover, I just saw your journalist is on full gear as though he's going to the war in Gaza. You understand? And this is a confirmation that even journalists do not feel safe. So is there a court order barring journalists from doing their legitimate job, covering protest? So please, don't let us go. What the Nigerian police have displayed is complete lawlessness, and it is a crying shame on the government of Tinubu. The people who so-called people who said they fought for democracy. Of course, they never fought for anything but their pocket and self-interest. So let me state categorically clear: It is a pattern of lawlessness from the Nigerian police. Last year was NSAS Memorial. This was the police, it was the same institution that killed hundreds of young people. I mean,
now that you've just gone there, let me just take you up on that, because there are those who are quite angry on the day that you've chosen. I mean, looking at what happened on social media yesterday, there are those who are totally unhappy with the day that they've chosen. They thought that you desecrated the memories of those who died on that day, or who protested on that day, and some of them losing their lives. And you desecrated their memory by choosing to fix a protest on that day.
Well, many of those who make this claim are actually people who those are part of the people who are not interested in Nnamdi Kanu's release. For the avoidance of doubt, our organization, the Take It Back movement, was at the forefront of the NSAS protest in 2020. Long after everybody abandoned those who were arrested in prison, it was our organization that got many people, many protesters, these are documented facts, many protesters out of prison. It was our organization that had been organizing NSAS Memorial. We organized NSAS Memorial in 2021. We organized in 2022. We organized even during election, after election 2023. We organized last year, about more than 8 of our comrades were beaten. They were brutalized by the Nigerian police. We got a court judgment against that brutalization against the Nigerian police. And the call for the NSAS Memorial is a reiteration for the call for justice, the call for social justice, so that protesting to free Nnamdi Kanu is a call for justice. Everything the NSAS protest represented. And to also add, it is also on record that in Abuja, we observed that day, had a 1-minute silence in recognition of the sacrifices young people like myself played during the protest. Those who are making this claim did nothing.
Okay, so let me just quickly ask this, and this is a yes or no. I'm so sorry that we don't have a lot of time. I would have stretched this a bit more, but we want to just confirm that the protest is not continuing today, is it?
The protest continues today in course, because currently about 13 people were unjustly arrested, and they are going to be arraigned in court today. But at any rate, plans are ongoing to return back to the barricades, and stronger than if the Nigerian, as I said earlier, if the Nigerian government fails to do the needful, if they can be negotiating with terrorists, they can definitely find a political solution to the ongoing persecution of Nnamdi Kanu.
Well, Mr. Juwon Sanyaolu, we have to thank you for joining us this morning. He's the national coordinator of the Take It Back movement. Well, the Take It Back movement protest that happened yesterday is not the only protest that we've seen from Nigerians in recent times. On Sunday, there was also a protest in the Surulere area in Lagos over the development of a proposed cemetery around some residential areas. The residents are not happy, and they join us on the program this morning. In just a moment, please stay with us.
As stakeholders meeting over the proposed siting of a cemetery on Babs and Imasham Street in Surulere, a high-density residential area, ends in disagreement. While the state government appeals that the project be given a chance, the people would not have it.
Nobody likes the one close to you. Nobody likes the one close to a cemetery.
Following that meeting, residents of Babs and Imasham, Natufe and surrounding streets are on the streets, united in their opposition to the Lagos state government controversial plan to establish a cemetery right in the middle of their community.
They called me on Monday that we are going to have meeting at Bamboo Hall, Eco Club. I said the notice is short, that they should reschedule it, and they said no. And they did it with not our awareness. We are the person that the thing is affecting. So they carry people from Orile, from Shita, from Mushi, from Amukoko to come and hold the meeting. And they said 60% of us has agreed. We didn't agree at all.
Their primary fear is deeply rooted in the area's geography. The proposed site is low-lying, surrounded by canals, and becomes severely waterlogged, often flooded with every rainfall.
When the man was comparing the cemetery here with the cemetery in Maryland in USA, I said, how can you compare death with sleep? It's not the same thing. Once there's a cemetery here, we know what cemetery is in Nigeria. Kidnapping, armed robbery, all vices that you can think of will happen. And apart from that, there will be devaluation on the properties, no safety. Look at this place, it's waterlogged. When it rains, the water gets here. We've broken down our house. We are rebuilding it because of water.
For these families, the plan is not just an inconvenience. It's a terrifying prospect. They argue that burying bodies in such an unstable environment poses a severe public health risk and only compounds their existing infrastructure crisis.
And our community has deficiency. We don't have water. We are waterlogged. If you bury somebody, you want to bring epidemic. You want to kill us? That is what we are telling them. You say, look at it. Kanu surrounded us here. They have not found one solution to that. We are living, managing. We are the only people who are doing everything for ourselves. Unfortunately, they want to force cemetery onto us, and we are saying no.
Until this unpopular proposal is withdrawn, the residents have vowed to escalate their rejection. For them, the implementation of this cemetery would be a heartbreaking blow to their community and a terrifying failure of governance. And their message is that their community is for the living, not the dead. Chris Lems, Channels Television News.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, that's our next conversation now, and joining us for this conversation is Omolabake Brahmo, who is the chairman, Natufe Animashaun Community Development Association. She's right here in the studio with us. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
From what you know, ma, how far back do you think government has been thinking about this?
Thank you. In 2020, they said such a thing to happen. We said no. So everything died down. By this 2025, they started again. So we have to write that it won't possible. Then we were invited to House of Assembly, Chieftaincy Affairs. We went there 2 times. The person, Olumide Amore, he didn't attend. So upon all, we see they asked them what is going on. They said they've invited him. He is not available. Therefore, anytime he's available, they will call on us. It was on that last week, Monday, they called me as the chairman, said that I should come and meet them with my people at Eco Club Bamboo Hall. I said the meeting is too short because they called me 3:54. Even I performed ablution to pray for 4 o'clock. I said no. Before I can gather people together, the notice is too short. They should reschedule it. They said no. It was after they come on that Tuesday last week. They come hold the meeting at Bamboo. To our surprise, they said 60% of us has agreed. And that is why that Saturday meeting and protest come up again. That if you don't, 60% of us has agreed, and we said no. That is why you saw us on that protest on that Saturday. You didn't agree. I've been in that area since 1979.
Now, just to be clear,
yes.
Is it the state government that approached your community that is planning this initiative, or it's the local government?
It's not local government. It's not state government. It's an individual somebody. They want to put that in this private cemetery. So the local government we are under is Koka Aguda local government. Even during the time they started it, the chairman was not informed. It was late. We went to the chieftaincy affairs and we went to talk, the ex-chairman. But the new chairman, we've written him, but he never get time for to this. And they didn't even call us from chieftaincy affairs to come for the meeting again. It was surprised that we had to say they are going to do it.
I'm looking at the constitution now, ma.
Yes.
And what I can see is that the establishment and maintenance of cemeteries is the job of the local government. So before, even if it's going to be a private cemetery, the local government has to sign off on it. So do you think the local government is in agreement with this initiative? Did they make a proposal to the, because you can't just set up anything without the local government. The
local government was not, they are not aware. We are the one that told them that this is it. And when we went to that meeting with the chieftaincy affairs for House of Assembly, so the chairman at that time, which is you, Rasak Ibrahim Olalekon, he said he was not aware.
So now who are the people that invited you to the State Assembly if the local government chairman is not aware?
It was when we wrote about 11 letters to every ministry in Lagos State. And this first our protest, they saw it everywhere. They invited us. And those people told us that it cannot work, but we should relax and call the person that is in charge, which is Olumide Amure.
So what we have now is that the Lagos State government has sealed up the construction for that proposed cemetery within the residential area that we talk about. Does that appease you? Are you at peace with that?
When they told us that they seal it, Laswaka broke some of the fences. We were at rest. But it was now the man called me on that Monday last week, and at the hold meeting, which we were not aware. When they called me, 6 minutes to 4, I told it was impromptu that they should reschedule it. They said no. To our surprise, Bamboo Hall is not far to our side.
Sorry, just a second. Who called the meeting?
They said this chief. Oh, I've forgotten their name.
Because if the government did not call that meeting,
it's part of government because
Building and Control Agency.
Okay. They said they have approved it.
Really?
Yes, that is what they tell us the first time we went to House of Assembly, that they have approved it. That in America, in everywhere, and the state said every local government should have it. I say, this swamp area we have, even majority of the houses there, we rebuild it because of flood. So we say, this thing cannot happen here. It's planned, Lagos State planned this thing. Oh,
so I'm wondering, I understand the Lagos State Building and Control Agency.
They said they are the one that approve it.
If a state government agency can approve a cemetery that the Constitution says is the responsibility of the local government, and the local government chairman is not aware, then that raises a lot of questions. What's the local government what are the local government authorities saying now?
Now, when this thing happened last week, we've written letter to every local, even to Ministry of Information, the Governor, Excellency Governor Babajide Sanyaolu, about 12 letters we have written. That was Friday. But that Saturday, because they have said that we have agreed, that's why we protest. It's peaceful. We didn't touch anything. So...
Now, you have a local government chairman.
Yes, sir.
Now, how about the member representing that community in the House of Assembly? Is he also aware of the initiative?
The member that is representing our area is Honorable Mosumola Shongodara. but he didn't take it serious with us because he met us. She met us one day at that House of Assembly. It just be like, say, it's my constituency. I'm not aware. But now, the last letter we wrote now, we have sent it to her.
So what?
But what do I call him? Lanre Okwala. He saw it with this channel. So from Abuja, he came to us yesterday to that place just to see by himself. Okay.
Now, you said 5 years ago, this initiative was, they started talking about it. Now, 5 years after, they are raising the issue again. Now, what do you want? What are you calling for?
We are calling for everybody and the people in government to help us. We don't want cemetery there because it's swamp area. There are many things they're supposed to do for us. Government didn't do it. We are surrounded in that area by canal. The canal, may he so rest in peace. Alhaji Latif Jakonde, during the time it was raining, he came to our side with Kanu. We are suffering of water. The water always reach here for me when it rains. So we didn't need cemetery in that area. It will finish everything. Our houses will just collapse.
A number of influential Lagosians that I know have interest. Well, they have some roots in Surulere. One of them is former Governor Babatunde Fashola. Yes. Then there is the Chief of Staff to the President as well, Mr. Femi. What are they saying about this?
That is what I'm saying. During the first time, they said they didn't agree. But this time around, we have even written to all of them. They never respond. But what we are saying now that those people that are influential and they know what we are facing. Fashola knows that area. He's a Surulere man. Babajide himself knows that area. He's a Surulere man. They should please help us. We don't want cemetery.
Anyway, what we understand is that the meeting that you talked about was called by the Commissioner for Physical Planning. And we also get information that the Commissioner for Information in Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Motosho, has assured residents that no burial ground will be developed there.
Thank you.
According to him, the burial ground site is sealed and no such project will be developed there. Thus, the people need not worry. Question that one can now ask is, what kind of assurance do you need? Because if this happened 5 years ago and it's raising its head now, what's to say that after this sealing, it doesn't come again in 5 years? How do you get, what kind of assurance do you want for that?
We want the people at top that they should assure us that that thing will never happen again. Because we cannot continue 2020 to 2021, 2025 again. So we want the assurance from those at the top.
But, you know, it's a swamp area.
It's a swamp area.
So what are the risks that you're afraid of?
We are afraid of kidnapper. When they put cemetery, they can, even when there is no cemetery now, along that line, people are saying they used to collect phone. They used to hijack some people when they are going to work. That side is a blackout. That Animal Chance Road is blackout in the night. So we want government to put a light for us there and they assure us that cemetery will not come to that side. Okay. We are appealing.
Is there any other area in that place that you think a cemetery might pass?
No, I don't know. I don't know. There's no other way. There's no area that I can say they should use. Okay.
But if the government were to call your community and every other CDA in Surulere to a meeting to propose another place, is that something you'll be open to?
I don't know what government can do. Only we don't want cemetery in that area, swampy area.
Okay. Well, we have to thank you very much for your time this morning. And now that the initiative, the federal government, the state government has stepped in. The question that I'm still asking in my head is, how come the local government administration is not aware? And if that is the constitutional responsibility of the local government, establishment and maintenance of cemeteries is the responsibility of local government, then the question that one will be asking is, isn't that to say that the local government is not shirking in its responsibilities? But then we'll have to ask them that one. Thank you so much for your time this morning and for the perspective that you have given. Let's just hope that the government has indeed heard you. Omalabake Braimo is the chairman, Natufe Animashao Community Development Association in Surulere, Lagos State. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
When we return, we're going to another community that is equally challenged to one way or the other. We'll find out about that when we return from this break.
Indeed, we're switching gears now, as Ayo did say, to another community in the Niger Delta. Ogoni has been in the news for a while now, especially with the pardon recently granted by the president to not just Ken Saro-Wiwa, but a number of other people. But that's not what we're looking at this morning. We're looking at the cleanup efforts in Ogoni land under HYPREP, which is the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project. You do remember the UNEP report that did say that it was going to take up to 30 years and $1 billion in the first phase to clean up Ogoni land. How is that project going? In recent times, we've heard reports of corruption derailing the cleanup of Ogoni land. A report recently released by the London School of Economics talks about how corruption and mismanagement may derail the cleanup of the Niger Delta. Well, this morning we're joined by Mr. Celestine Akpobari, who is an environmental rights activist, to weigh in on the matter. Good morning, Mr. Akpobari, and good to see you. I do not know how you have been following up with the cleanup going on in Ogoni land. Are you satisfied with the process so far?
Mark, and thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians. At the moment, since the inception of this new administration, with the appointment of Professor Zabe and Bararabe as minister, I think we've been on a speed lane. I've been around for a while since the inception of this project. Like I said before, I was appointed a member of the presidential task team to launch this project. I was part of the community people that designed the structure of this project. I was in all the meetings from Nigeria to Geneva. So I've been around and I know the pulse of this project. At the moment, since the inception of this administration, we've been on the speed lane. The Professor Zabe is a human rights activist. He has been with us, campaigning together in the trenches. So now he's on the seat and he has no choice than to do the right thing. And that was the reason why when President Tinubu removed him, community people led a protest that brought him back. If he wasn't doing good, if he wasn't doing well, if the project was not on track, because this is a community project, for God's sake, it is the product of our struggle. The money is our blood. So no Ogoni man will stand by to watch their money be stolen and the person will still be sitting there, or they will go and do a protest to bring him back. So I can tell you that things are going well. If you visit Ogoni now, the Center for Excellence, about 96% completion. They have planted over 1.4 million seedlings of mangrove, trained over 360 community persons that are in the business of nursing and planting. In fact, I'm told that they have even exceeded the limit, that they have nursed over 4 million in excess, waiting for a new set of contractors that will buy from them. The hospital is on. Every other sector, including those things that were not even thought about in the project, like scholarship and skills acquisition, is different, very profitable skills. Then our biodiversity, marine life have returned. the crab, the proteins, periwinkle, other seafood are back. Oysters are back in our river. So I can boldly and beat my chest as a community person to say that this project is on course, kicking very well under Professor Nnamdi Bazabe and the Minister Barabe.
Well, there are those who are raising concerns about quality control in the area. They believe that there isn't enough supervisory capacity to actually oversee the quality of work being done. That's on the one hand. That might not exactly be the fault of HYPREP. HYPREP can be doing its job, but then there is nobody to actually certify fully to say that, you know, indeed what HYPREP is doing is up to standard. And there are also other concerns. I mean, I'm looking at this blog, this article written on the blog of the London School of Economics. I'm sure you've also seen that article as well. And some of the other issues around corruption raised in HYPREP, talking about fraudulent and inflated contracts, falsified results. Some people actually allege a scam. They also say that auditors have been blocked from actually looking at the accounts of HYPREP. How do you react to some of these allegations? Because they're grave, and it's not just people from the outside who are saying these things. People from the inside, or people on the inside, are also saying that a second look should be taken at what is happening with HYPREP.
These are grave allegations, very grave. But I think that most of the persons writing these things are enemies of Ogoni people who didn't give this project a chance to survive. Nobody, gave us a chance to survive under the current system as operates in Nigeria. So seeing that Ogoni will be enjoying 24-hour electricity under the emerging power project, seeing that over 40 communities right now enjoy portable drinking water, well-treated water, and by the end of the year, we're expecting about 60. Seeing that our postgraduate students go home with some money, and a lot of things are happening. Ogoni has become a construction site. Some people will not be happy that Ogoni is enjoying all that. So that, by the way, there is no report, scientific report right now that will tell us that so and so thing has gone wrong. I'm not saying that nothing has gone wrong in HYPREP, but there is no scientific report. What we are doing at the moment is to put the cart before the horse. You are yet to conduct an audit, and you just come up with that kind of report. These are very weighty words and allegations. So I think people should be very careful what they write and what they believe in. I can tell you that this project is the heartbeat of Ogoni people. And you know that the Ogoni people will not take any nonsense from any person as far as this project is concerned.
I wanted to find out how
this is conducted, and I want you to know, excuse me, I want you to understand that it was UNEP that conducted the audit of Ogoni environment. And this project has been under the supervision of UNEP all through. There is no budget that was submitted to the governing council that UNEP was not part of it, that shared abroad the money was not part of it. There is no contract that was awarded that they were not part of it. They have supervised this project up to this moment. So you cannot be holier than the Pope. The UNEP that conducted this audit and has been part of this project, we need to see their report on this assessment.
Okay, can I ask if an audit has ever been conducted on HYPREP?
I wouldn't know. But I think there is no way HYPREP would have been operating without audited report. I think you can direct that question to the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation, because this is a federal project.
If an audit hasn't been conducted, will you be concerned?
I'll be very much concerned.
Would you like to see an audit conducted? Or at least the audit reports?
If I would like to see the audit report, then if the Ogoni people feel that something has gone wrong and they invite external auditors to come and audit this project, I'll be very happy, because The money that is being spent is Ogoni money. It's not government money. Government is just to contribute one quarter to this project. If they care so much about us, they should bring money into this project. If you take 30 years or 35 to clean up Ogoni, the $1 billion was a take-off grant of $200 million per year for the first 5 years. This project is almost 9-10 years now. Government has to bring one quarter. It means that if money was spent according to specification, the $1 billion would have finished. We need money in this project. We need money to conduct environmental assessment in other Niger Delta communities, because I've always said that Ogoni will not be clean until other communities in Niger Delta are also clean. Because we are linked together. This is a very fragile ecosystem, fragile environment. What happened at one corner gets to the other. If there is pollution in Andoni, it gets to Ogoni. The next moment, if there is pollution in Okirika, it gets to Ogoni. The pollution in Boni, it gets to Ogoni. So every part of the Niger Delta must be clean. Those that love Ogoni and those that love Niger Delta so much should come together, look for how to raise money and give to HYPREP to conduct environmental assessment in other polluted sites of the Niger Delta, and also ensure that every paper that has been signed to allow those that polluted our land to escape in the name of divestment should be reversed. They should come together. These are the things I want to hear, that people are coming together to ask for reversal of whatever that have been signed for companies to run away that polluted and destroyed our ecosystem and our means of livelihood. I want to hear that. And not for people to come together because Christmas is coming, they don't have any money, then they come together to say, hey, let's look for where to get money. HYPREP is one of them. This one is one of them. HYPREP is not one of them. The money in HYPREP is blood money. It is our money. It will not go to any person's pocket.
In other words,
they are distracting this project so much because
just a moment, Mr. Kobari, if I may, it means then that only Ogoni people, you think or you believe that only Ogoni people can raise concerns about how money is being spent in HYPREP. Is that correct? Mr. Kobari, did you hear me?
Correct. Very correct. This is our
okay,
is in our account. Yes, I hear you.
Okay, well. I think you've answered my question. So let me ask you about this report now, which cites the Benemene of Legbo Kingdom, Chief Anthony Wada, who has called for a probe into the contract awards and fund management by HYPREP. This call was made this year, sometime in July. He is an Ogoni son, a traditional ruler in Ogoni land. Are his calls justified?
Yeah, I think any Ogoni person that feels dissatisfied with the job has a right to call for an audit or some explanations, but not people who are looking for Christmas money to come and tell me that I'm smelling. You don't live with me. I live here with our people. So it is only an Ogoni that I live with that can tell me that I smell rat.
So what do you think should be done to the call by the traditional ruler who is raising objections?
Well, he has his right to complain. He should meet the appropriate authority, and they'll come together and arrange for whatever audit that he wants. He is right to call for an audit. But I'm afraid, my fear is that Professor Daniel Barizabe, the PC, is not one of you. He's not an everyday politician. He's a scholar, he's an activist. I'm afraid that he might resign and leave it disturbing so much because, I mean, he didn't appreciate all this. He's delivering, he's giving his best. When he came on, he redesigned the Center for Excellence extra cost. He redesigned the hospital with no extra cost. All the things he has done, I'm not sure that he has awarded one contract. All what he has done is to implement, and one who has not awarded a contract means married resources. So I don't even understand. So that's why I say I smell a rat. Don't forget I was a member of the Governing Council of HYPREP. So I know some of the things that is happening in HYPREP, much more than who is writing anything.
All right, what do you think then should be done to clear the air so that whoever is heading the organization right now can do his work in peace, and those who are dissatisfied can also see very clearly and transparently that there is no hanky-panky?
Okay, the first thing that they are distracting us so much. I know whether they are angry that we are succeeding, or they are bitter, or they are jealous, whatever name they want to call it. If they have that kind of energy and love for this project, they should ask Mr. President, ask the international community, ask those that polluted our land to bring money into our purse. It is only when you bring money that you can ask how that money is being spent. They don't appropriate for the money we spend in HYPREP. They don't appropriate. So you cannot ask questions of money you did not give, a budget that that was not submitted to you. So they should just go and look for money so we can clean up Niger Delta. Niger Delta is in a mess, a big mess. We need to clean up this mess so that our people can go back to our fishing and farming business. We have lost our means of livelihood. We have lost things. There's nothing left in Niger Delta. That's what I want people
Mr.
to think
Akubari,
about.
you didn't quite answer my question in terms of what needs to be done.
I'm not sure.
Mr. Akubari, you didn't answer my question as to what needs to be done. You have said only Ogoni sons can raise...
I told you now, one. Yes, I say they should bring money into the project.
They should bring money when they're asking questions about how money has been spent?
Who we ask the question now? Are you Shared that brought the money? It's Shared that brought the money. Shared is in the governing council. Shared is in the BOT. They follow up on the budget and every expenditure. Before any money is withdrawn, Shared that brought the money we sign. Ogoni person we sign. So I don't just know those that are talking about. I think they don't know what is happening in the HYPREP.
All right. So there are those who say that that might not exactly be ideal, given the fact that Shaw was also accused in the UNEP report. But we have to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. Mr. Celestin Akubari is an environmental rights activist and has been speaking with us from Port Harcourt. Well, that's where we wrap up the program this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Maokwe Ogunyusuf.
And I'm Ayo Makinde. Do have a wonderful rest of your day. Business Morning is next.